All I think about in terms of traveling is Brazil. All I want to do is make Brazil videos. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I know some of you guys have noticed. Some of you guys are probably like, damn, all Jamie does is Brazil videos. Well, it's for a reason. I'm obsessed with Brazil.
Hey, Jamie Woods, we here to travel and motivate. No curry, we just trying to keep our minds in a golden state. We answer to nobody but the Lord, we control our fate. Too many things to see just to sit in a hole and bake. We growing, ayy.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Jamie Woods back at it with another travel video. And guys, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, hit that notification button so you guys know when I'm dropping that heat. But speaking of the heat, today I'm dropping some. So a couple months ago, I made videos about why Cartagena and Medellin, Colombia specifically, why that country and those specific cities live up to the hype. In this video, I'm going to talk about why Brazil lives up to the freaking hype, because I've had quite an obsession with Brazil over the last year and a half or so, to where all I think about in terms of traveling is Brazil. All I want to do is make Brazil videos. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I know some of you guys have noticed. Some of you guys are probably like, damn, all Jamie does is Brazil videos. Well, it's for a reason. I'm obsessed with Brazil. And the reasons that I'm about to state right now are the reasons why I'm so obsessed with this country and why I always want to travel to it. Because I keep thinking to myself, like, why don't I go to Japan? Why don't I go to South Korea? Why don't I go to somewhere in Europe? And then I think to myself, it doesn't compare to Brazil. That's why. It doesn't. Brazil has certain qualities and features about it that make it stick out above the rest of the pack. And the only other country I would say that I've personally been to, or two countries that can compete with Brazil toe to toe in a lot of different qualities and categories, is one, Colombia, which I love Colombia. I was actually debating on making a Colombia video. And number two is España. Those are my top three favorite countries: is Brazil, Spain, Colombia. No order whatsoever, but I love those three countries. But today I want to dedicate it to Brazil because I have to talk to you guys about it, because I feel like I got a problem here. I'm very obsessed with this freaking country. But anyways, guys, let's get to it.
Brasil!
Number one, world-class beaches. I haven't seen a place with better beaches in Brazil. I mean, I'm sure Hawaii probably got amazing beaches. Maybe Australia. Where else is known to have amazing beaches? Thailand, I heard, has amazing beaches. We could go down the line, right? I've been all around the world to different beaches. I went to Barcelona's beaches. I've been all around the States with the beaches. Miami, all those places. But to be honest, my favorite beach on the planet is Ipanema Beach. Like the beach with the big mountain in the background, beautiful. It almost feels like you're in a freaking movie when you're at that beach, just because of how cinematic it looks, how beautiful it looks. It's the most beautiful beach I've ever been to. And it's not just like the actual aesthetic of it or how it looks like that makes it so special. It's also the fact that Brazilians have a top-notch beach culture. I think they have the best beach culture on the planet from what I have experienced, right? Because it's almost like you're going into a party when you're at the beach. Because Brazilians, especially if you happen to be living or you're visiting a Brazilian beach city, Brazilians take the beach culture very seriously, to the point where a lot of them are super fit. They're always at the gym. They're always getting tans. They're always outside up to something, always doing something physical. And that's because they're trying to be in the best shape possible for the beach. And on top of that, like I said, it's almost like a party when you go in there, because they're jamming out to music. Everyone's drinking. Everyone's having a good time. Girls are twerking. People diving into the water. All sorts of activities going on the beach. Let's just say things that you will never see in the US of A. Another thing is they have a lot of interesting beaches in Rio, and just Brazil in general, because it isn't just Rio, right? A lot of people always talk about Rio when it comes to the beaches, but you have other places like Florianopolis. List goes on. There's a ton of places with amazing beaches all around the country. But there's also a diversity of beaches. There's nude beaches. There's beaches for everyone in Brazil. There's beaches for everyone in Brazil. Whatever you're looking for, Brazil got it for you, and it's so much fun. Not that many rules that go to it. You know how like in the United States there's so many rules. You can't bring liquor, and you can't bring this onto the beach, and you can't be out past 8 o'clock. Like I know certain beaches in the United States that close at a very early time. Maybe like at sundown it closes, and no one could be at the beach at nighttime. However, in Brazil, it's different. People out in the beach at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning. I mean, look at this, guys. Look at that video I'm about to show you guys real quick. This was me walking in South Zone in Copacabana, and this is how the beach looked like at 1 a.m. in the morning. They were having a freaking festival over there, man. It was insane. But it's like this every single day in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro to be specific. They're always having a party, always having a good time. You could pick up people. You could get to know people, make friends on the beach. Like, you don't even have to go to the club. You don't got to go anywhere. Just go to the beach and you'll meet a ton of people. That's what makes the beach culture in Rio and in Brazil so epic, is the fact that not only is it a place to relax and kind of relieve yourself a bit, but it's also a place to network and meet people. Number 2, Carnival. I mean, come on, guys. I was going to mention it. Carnival is the best, one of the biggest festivals, celebratory events in the world. And the thing is, this is across the whole entire country, not just Rio. Rio is the most epic one, the most known one because it's a grand spectacle. But Salvador Bahia also has a very great carnival. It's just a little bit different than Rio's because it's more about the blocos and more about like they have these little cart things called trio eléctricos, which is basically like these moving carts or whatever you want to call them that have like loud music on it, and it goes crazy and people start dancing around it. It's phenomenal. But that's in Salvador Bahia. And then Sao Paulo has their own version of Carnival. I mean, everywhere in Brazil goes crazy in late February, early March for Carnival. It's a giant party. Everyone is there from all around the world. Brazilians know how to freaking party. I'm going to keep stating that over this video. And that's something I love, man, is Brazilians know how to party. Out of anyone I've seen on this planet, I've partied with Italians, and Italians are up there. Europeans are up there, just in general. Europeans are hard partiers. I party with my fellow Dominican people. That's my people right there. We definitely up there. Latinos in general up there. But Brazilians are on a different level. I don't know what the hell is in the water over there, what's in the food, but they got some energy, man. Because these people be partying from sun up to sundown and then back at it again, barely any sleep. And I'm like, have you guys eaten? Have you guys drank any water? Have you guys slept at all? Like, you guys are just partying all day. Like, it's funny because a lot of people have this stereotype about Brazilians being very like big partiers, and to an extent that's true. But the funny part is Brazilians have this way of they have this work hard, play hard type of lifestyle, to where it's a, you would never think that they're hard workers, but they are. But they balance that with all the partying that they do. And that's what you see, is you see all these videos of the Brazilians partying, having a good time, to the point where you assume that's all they do, but they actually work very hard. And I remember I was talking to one of my friends, Camilla. Shout out to Camilla. I don't know if she's watching the video or not. But she was saying that a lot of Brazilians, what they do is basically they go to work in their work clothes. Underneath their work clothes, they got their swim trunks and everything ready to go. So after work, they go straight to the beach. And that's literally a Brazilian's life, is they work hard, get the job done, go straight to the beach, go straight to the bar, whatever they got to do, have a fun ass time. Like, Brazilians know how to live. And Carnival is like a giant testament to that, like a giant symbol of that. And there's no other country, no other place that has a carnival like that. I mean, I'm sure Colombia have their own, DR have their carnivals, all of Latin America, all of Europe. New Orleans has their stuff going on over there, but nothing compares to this, man, because I'm talking about the craziest block parties, the craziest stadium events with these giant floats and these amazing, beautiful samba dancers just going in. Like, these people practice all year round for that moment. and you can tell because they're so passionate, they're so good at what they do, and it's just one of those things that I recommend you guys to at least experience once in your life.
Brazilians, we don't say baby, babe, boo, Puki, my love. As Brazilians, we say meu amor, neném, amor, bebê, meu gostoso, seu filho da... Por que você me traiu? Você me conta agora, porque senão eu vou cortar o teu amor da minha vida, meu coração, meu tudo.
Now, this is one that Brazil is very known for, and it's the beautiful people, the beautiful women. Just let's talk about it real quick, man, because I know you guys were waiting for this one. I know y'all very well, okay? Y'all are waiting for me to mention this one, and yeah, I'm gonna drop it real quick. But yes, Brazil, in my personal opinion, okay, don't kill me here, don't delete me, but I personally think that Brazil has the most beautiful women on the planet, and I think second to that is Colombia. Colombia is not far off. Colombia is phenomenal across the board when it comes to women. But Brazil's number one because Brazil has more diversity. And I know diversity does exist in Colombia, okay? It does exist. Cartagena, we go down the line of how diverse Colombia is. But it's nothing compared to Brazil. Brazil has the biggest population of black people outside of Africa. The biggest population of Japanese people outside of Japan. They have more Lebanese people in the country than Lebanon itself. A bunch of Italians in the 1900s moved over there, okay? If you want an example of these type of neighborhoods, I mean, Sao Paulo is a good example. Go to Sao Paulo. They have a neighborhood in Sao Paulo called Liberdade. That's where all the Japanese people are at. If you want a fine Japanese Brazilian woman, go to Liberdade. They also have other neighborhoods within Sao Paulo where Italians, Europeans are at, and that's across the board, okay? If you go south of Brazil, a ton of diversity over there. But that's one of the things that stick out in Brazil is just diversity. You'll see the most unique women you'll ever see in your life. They have this look to them, I can't describe it, that is so rare. Like you never see, like they look like they're out of this world with their beauty. And a lot of them are natural. They don't really get plastic surgery like that. Like, yes, it exists, but a lot of Brazilian women don't really believe in plastic surgery like that. They aren't the biggest when it comes to makeup. They're more about natural beauty and natural bodies. And that's something I respect so much. Another thing about Brazilian women that I love so much is they work freaking hard in the gym. These girls are going crazy in the gym, guys. If you want to meet the most fittest women on the planet, Brazil got that. Brazil got that. And it's throughout their lives, man. I'm talking about these girls from a very young age were instilled, get your ass to the gym. And if you don't, and you have any ounce of fat, we're going to roast you. I remember some of my Brazilian friends who happen to be girls were telling me, like, yeah, I went to the gym because I was trying to get roasted. And then after some time, it became a habit, and then they fell in love with it. And the way they walk and the accent, depending where you're at, the Carioca accent, the Paulista accent, it don't matter where you are. They just have this beautiful accent. Like when they speak Portuguese, like when Brazilian people speak Portuguese, it's almost like they're singing a song because it's so like catchy and so everything rhymes and it sounds so beautiful. And so just imagine this fit, beautiful, unique looking, exotic Brazilian woman approaching you, talking to you, telling you "meu gostoso" and all this stuff, and you're like, oh my god, I'm never gonna leave this place. And they come on all shapes and forms. You got the most beautiful redheads on the planet in Brazil, the most beautiful blonde women in the world in Brazil, the most beautiful brunette, the most beautiful black women, the most beautiful mestizas, the most beautiful, you go down the line, bro. Brazil got everything. Japanese women, Italian, it don't matter, bro. You can find any type of woman you want in Brazil. But the best part about Brazilian women that I love to death is just how humble they are, how down to earth they are, how fun, how spontaneous they are. It's not just the looks, but it's also what's inside their mind, their heart, their soul. They're just very beautiful women inside and out. I'll never forget when I was in Sao Paulo and I had this baddie Brazilian girl over. And remember, this was around the time I didn't really speak much Portuguese. This girl spoke very little English, no Spanish, nothing. but we managed to have one of the best conversations I've ever had since stepping foot in Brazil. In that room in Sao Paulo, we literally stood there for like 2 hours just talking about life. I used my Spanish, a little bit of Portuguese that I knew, and English in order to talk to her, and she used whatever she could, and it ended up being such a beautiful conversation. And it's funny because I have some conversations with people here in the States, and we both speak English, same language, everything, and it's so dysfunctional. You could tell people here are very antisocial. They don't like to talk. They don't like to talk to strangers. They don't like to meet people. They don't like to network. In Brazil, however, even though you may not speak Portuguese, they'll find a way to communicate with you. And I think I like that. I like when people put in some type of effort to make you feel comfortable in their country and try to build some type of a bond or connection. And that's what I like. And that's what we did that day. And I swear to God, I didn't want that conversation to end. You know, the conversation is good when it's flawless. It's like endless conversations, endless things to talk about. You get sad when that person has to go because you're like, damn, I had such a good time talking to this person. Like, when was the last time you had a great conversation with someone? A great one. You know what I mean? Like, now just imagine that, except this time around, there's a language barrier there. And we still managed to have a great conversation. You know, so it isn't just the looks, but it's also how they are inside. They're just great to talk to. They have the spontaneity to them where they're always trying to do something random, and they'll text you randomly, do things randomly that are cute, that I really like a lot. We're not going to get to that part. We're going to leave that for the Patreon. I was going to talk about the bedroom and all that. We're going to say that for Patreon because that's a whole nother thing, man. Let's just say they're the best when it comes to that too. They're just the best across the board when it comes to everything, really.